G'day legends, welcome to the new workshop. As many of you may or may not know, we recently packed up our entire Western Australian life and travelled 4,000 kilometres with 2 puppies to the other side of the country, and this is where we've landed. So this place was built in 1904 and is the site of an old creamery. And if you know me, you know that I like things that are rare and unique. And what's more fitting than a 120-year-old building? Now, the reason there's been such a long hiatus between videos is because we did buy this place sight unseen and we've slightly bitten off more than we can chew, but we are chewing nonetheless. Up until a couple of days ago, you couldn't even see the workshop floor because the movers just dumped everything in the middle of the workshop, and I've slowly been working through it. On top of that, we've got a 120-year-old garden to tame, and we've got a house that needs massive renovations. But here we are in the workshop, so let's have a look around. The workshop is broken down into 3 areas. We have the main part of the building here, and then through that door, we have an extension that's been put on at some point with a nice level concrete floor that's going to be magnificent for setting up workbenches and slab flatteners and stuff like that. And then up these sketchy stairs, there's a mezzanine area. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but it's a really cool space. One of my favourite features of this workshop and one of the biggest selling points is the floors. It's got solid red gum floors, and these things have stood the test of time. These floors are 120 years old, believe it or not. So as it sits right now, the workshop's probably only 20 to 30% put together. But because I've had a lot of people reaching out, I wanted to do an update video and just let you guys know where I'm at. Probably still a month or 2 away from my first big build video, but for now, let's just have a walk around, look at some of the new tools, look at what I'm thinking for the space, and maybe you guys can offer me some input. If you have any suggestions or any ideas for workflow and where I can put things, that would be awesome. So the first thing I've acquired and has been a dream tool for a really long time is a big bandsaw suitable for resawing. This will allow me to really expand my skills within big furniture making and working with bulky stock like slabs and big beams, things that I can rip down and just kind of level things up. As you can see, I'm still in the process of putting it together, but this is a big boy bandsaw. It has a 3/4 inch or 19mm blade. I think this is like a 20-inch wheel or something. It's got a 4 horsepower motor in it, so all those Aussie hardwoods are just going to be nothing to this thing. When we moved, I packed up things like my table saw, my miter saw, and just all my existing tools into big plywood crates that I made out of, I think, 7mm plywood and just 2x4s. And this is the remnants. All this will get reused to make things like shelves and some cabinetry and stuff, just to put screws and tools and whatever in until I come up with a better solution. But I'm thinking to put a small bandsaw here, which I have. That'd be really good for like scroll work and stuff like that if I need to cut curves and whatever. My drill press, this is something that I brought over from WA. I think this is a really good spot there. I believe this would have been a door, and I think some little shelves in here will be a really good spot to put all my drill bits. That's kind of my thinking for putting that there. Table saw hasn't changed. I've still got the same table saw. This was the thing that I was most nervous about packing up, but yeah. Pat on the back, Dino, you did a great job. I've got myself a second dust extractor. The main reason for that is outside of the health, my health. For our insurance, because we're now in a 120-year-old completely timber building, we needed to have dust extractors hooked up to every single tool. So now I've got the capability to hook up at least 6 machines to these 2 dust extractors. So, I mean, that's going to be good. One thing I want for this space is I want it to be unquestionably me. I want to be able to come in here and have no limitations. I want the only limitation to be me. So I'm trying to design this space to be really expressive and just, I don't know, I guess lately I've been going down a real nostalgia sort of path. Recently acquired 3 BMXs. I don't even ride anymore because I've got a dodgy knee, but stuff like that I find really fun to just have around me. Stuff like that inspires me. It just helps me to remember who I am, and that really helps my creativity. So yeah, you're gonna see a lot more weird stuff going up on the walls and whatever. So I think you guys are gonna really get to know me on a really personal level, and that's something that I haven't always been comfortable to share online. So I'm trying to step out of that vulnerability and just be more comfortable with letting you guys see the deeper side of me, I guess. So I've just knocked up some shelves for all my power tools, my routers, my jigsaws, sanders, stuff like that. I don't know if that's going to be a permanent solution or it's just going to be temporary. I really like the way it looks. I like things not being in a cupboard or a drawer. That's one thing that really frustrated me when I was in Western Australia. In my last shop, I had all this stuff behind doors or under my workbench in toolboxes. It was not easily accessible, and I found it actually really inhibited my workflow. So I'm thinking this will stay. I kind of really like the aesthetic. I think it matches the workshop really well, so I don't know, we'll see. Another tool I've acquired is a drum sander. Don't know how useful this is going to be to my style of work, but I guess I see a lot of people using them. Maybe I get tool envy, I don't know. But I've kind of followed Adam Savage's principle on tool collecting that if you're unsure how much you're going to use a tool, you should buy the tool that's most affordable for you or most budget friendly. See how that works out for you, and then if it becomes really useful and you use it all the time, then you can upgrade it. This is my little 10-inch bandsaw that I picked up from TimberCon that's going to sit in that corner hopefully. Yeah, just handy for doing little curve cuts and stuff like that. It's got a nice little circle cutting jig on it, so don't know how many circles I'm going to cut, but if I ever need to cut a circle, I can cut a circle. Over here, this is something that's an absolute game changer for me. For years, I've just used a little Rikon lunchbox thicknesser, but I've finally got myself a good 440 wide helical head, really good. I think it's like a 3 horsepower motor. I've done a couple of test passes with it and it is an absolute beast. And surprisingly quiet. It's actually a lot quieter than my little lunchbox thicknesser, so yeah, looking forward to giving that thing a workout. Billy Bones is still hanging out. I'm not 100% sure what this is. I imagine that there would have been a big belt running here, and then there would have been some kind of motor, maybe an old kerosene motor or maybe a steam engine or something, hooked up to the other side, and it would have powered whatever machinery was in this side of the workshop. So, I don't know. That's gonna stay. I think that's really cool. It's sort of the only remnants left of the workshop's former life, so I think that's really important to just leave that there and keep it alive. I kind of found this area was kind of a dead zone, so I thought it was a really good spot to put my clamps. They're nice and accessible. This is the second room of the workshop. It's currently in complete disarray. We've got our business and stuff set up in here while we're trying to sort out a solution for that. Hopefully in the next couple of months I will get this space back, but I'm thinking that this will be a really good place for things like a slab flattener, which I think will be really cool in this corner. It's got a really good, solid, level slab. So yeah, I don't really know what else. Maybe tool wall on that wall. Put my chisels, saws, hammers, screwdrivers, whatever else, planers. And then I think a workbench here for things like assembly and finishing. I want to try and keep this space more dust free. I was hoping to fit my slab flattener in that side of the workshop, but it's going to make it too cramped. I thought about maybe doing something to fold down from a wall, but it just seems like too much. So it's not going to be something I'll use a lot. So I think this space will be relatively dust free and be really good for finishing and assembly and stuff like that. So this area, I have no idea what to do with, and I really need your guys' help because it's a cool space. I don't just want it to be a dumping ground or a storage room for crap. There's so much history in this building, and I'd like to do something up here to really honor that. Originally, I thought I could do an office up here or something with a desk and whatever, but I don't really think it's suitable. It's a really cool feature of the workshop. It's got this trapdoor in the floor. The hinges are a bit seized up. I don't want to rip the boards off. So a horse and buggy would have pulled up under there and they would have hand winched all the cream cans up full of milk. We would have lifted them up with a winch or whatever. And then from here, on this second stage, there would have been a big tank or a vat where they would have emptied the cream cans in, all the milk would have sat in there, and then gravity fed down to their separators or whatever. And they would have separated the skim milk, which would have been most likely just fed to calves or pigs or whatever, because it wasn't worth anything back then. And then they would have sold off the cream to someone else that would have made things like butter and cheese and stuff like that. So a lot of history in this building. I really want to honour this character of this place and do something cool up here. So if you've got any ideas, yeah, drop me a comment, because I don't just want to fill it full of crap. This is the area where the horse and buggy would have come in. They would have parked the buggy here and winched the cream cans up through the floor. That's the bottom of the mez where we were just standing. Another thing I really like about this workshop is that it's got really good airflow. You can open up all these doors, and I've been in here on like a 35°C day, and it's actually been cooler than the house, which is really surprising. Most of the doors are pretty rotten and pretty knackered, so at some point I would like to make some new doors, maybe with some glass panels or some Perspex panels, just to let more light in, so when I'm in here in winter, I can still get maximum light, but don't have to have the workshop open. This is Frankie. She does need a bit of coat of paint, the old girl, but I think for 120 years old, it's in pretty good condition. At some point, someone has done some corrugated iron, some colour bond. So now I just want to take a minute to talk about how I foresee the future of the channel and sort of what direction I want to take things in. In the past, I've done a lot of like wacky side quests and build like metal dinosaur sculptures and stuff like that. I'll probably still do those builds, but maybe I'll just keep that stuff for myself. Unless you guys really want to see it, yeah, let me know. But I'm thinking, as far as the woodworking side of the channel, I'd really like to explore furniture design and push myself and see what I'm really capable of. I still want to do a lot of small woodworking projects, because those are something that I really enjoy, and I find they're a really good way to just de-stress, unwind, and just build something and be creative without any pressure. They're also things that I like giving away to people. Most of the time they just build out of scraps, so that's something that we'll definitely focus more on. But yeah, let me know what kind of content you guys want to see. I'm really excited for the future, and thanks for hanging with me, guys. I know it's been a little while between videos, and you're gonna need to be patient for a little bit longer. Frankie's waving his tail in front of the camera. Come here, buddy. What do you got on you? But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I hope you love the new shop as much as I do. We've got a long way to go. We've got a lot of house renovations to get through. This week I'm going to be ripping out a kitchen. I've got a floor to cut out. We've got some re-stumpers coming. Got a lot on my plate. We're slowly wading through the waters, but I'll catch you soon, guys. Peace.